The bout took but a moment, literally the blink of an eye.
見つけた。
After a long search, Kasumi had finally found someone capable of putting a stop to the priest. She'd been so deeply focused on her task, she hadn't perceived the conversation and the battle that unfolded below her. But it was not mere coincidence she had succeeded with that exact timing. Trifa had momentarily unfastened the Divine Vessel's armor to summon the lance from the castle, and the soul swirling within it held just what Kasumi needed. She might not have been the legitimate vessel, but still only because she was the current Sonnenkai that she was been able to pull this off. Truly a miracle that only Kasumi could have created. Their voices reached him.
神父様。
The 10 flowers that the man had chosen to be plucked as compensation for fleeing from his own shadow. Forever entrapped and swirling in the castle, they fired these very words at the man who had forsaken them.
泣かないで。
How ridiculous.
泣いてなどいない。
If they had cursed his name, he could have accepted it. If they had told him to fight, he would defeat even God. But what in the world was this?
哀れみだと。
No words could describe the emotions that bloomed in him at that moment. In a way, it was indignation. In a way, it was relief. They had to hate him. He had committed an unforgivable sin. He had to repent for the rest of eternity. He'd gone through those past 60 years under that one belief, that one assumption. He felt as though his motive for everything had shattered.
ならば私は何だ。
If he truly wasn't shifting the blame, if he truly wasn't using those poor children as an excuse, then wasn't he supposed to do his all to send the souls of his beloved children off to heaven, rather than trying to become gold? Overthrowing Reinhardt's Heydrich. Had he merely been running away from that choice? His hesitation, the waverings in his faith had been born from that. The holy lance ran forward, striking red. However, his doubt sprung forth in the user's craving to be the gold's twin. The supposedly perfectly accurate and fatal spearhead missed by a slight margin, for only Reinhardt Heydrich could handle that most sacred of weapons. All had gone amiss the moment his absolute devotion to becoming alternative gold was disrupted. The lance missed the core of Ren's soul. It pierced only one. The Maiden of the Twilight was torn away from her vessel, but there was a slight moment of time before her soul completely returned to the world. The guillotine itself was still in perfect form, though its spiritual density had grown thinner, it hadn't disappeared. It was not in a state to seriously injure the Knights of the Obsidian Round Table any longer, but with his armor now abandoned, Trifa had bared a fatal weakness. As such, even though he put his entire soul into dodging it, the grip of a hand stopped him.
もう逃げないんでしょ。
That action spelled the conclusion of the battle. My sense of self was collapsing. I was losing all sensation. I felt a scorching pain in my chest that tried to bake my very existence, but I could still tell my weapon had found its target. I had pierced Valeria Trifa. Once he shifted his powers from defense to attack, I had skewered the supposedly indestructible divine vessel. But that was all I could tell.
先輩。
Where was she? What happened to Marie? Was I standing on my own feet? Answer me.
かすみ。
Where are you? The moment my blade vanished, I lost the last of my senses. The black blade piercing their bodies turned into particles of light and vanished. But the two of them kept standing there without budging in the slightest, as though they were nestling up to each other, as though they were keeping the other from running. Standing amidst the welling stench of blood, both of them broke out into self-mocking smiles.
どうして逃げなかったの？
Her grip held no power at all to this man. Shaking or knocking her away should have been as easy as breathing, yet
なぜ？
Trifa answered with a troubled face.
手をですね。握られると逆らえない。前に振りほどいて後悔したことがあったので。
そう。
They'd both been fatally wounded. There was very little difference in endurance between Rhea, who was no stronger than a normal human, and Trifa, who had lost his armor. It was only natural that the holes in their chests were a tunnel leading straight to death.
ねえ、さっきのは本気？
But there was not a single hint of pain on Rhea's face. Trifa was the same. Nor did it seem like he regretted his defeat.
私にあなたの子供を産めって。
さあ、どうなのでしょうかね。
Now that he thought about it, perhaps he had said that. He'd been in the state of mind to rave fairly mad nonsense after all.
想像するだけでなんだか気持ち悪いんだけど。
ええ、私もさすがにありえないと思いましたよ。我ながら。
He could never do something like that. They were family.
申し訳ない。どうもあなたたちが眩しくて少し錯乱してしまったようだ。私の愛が私のものであると証明し、罪を償うならば一つしか選択はなかったのに、なぜ気づかなかったのだろう。なぜ目をそらしたのだろう。真に立ち向かうべきものは何なのか。バカ。結局私はまた逃げたのだ。藤井さんの言う通りですよ。全くみっともない男ですね。あなたもこんな私に付き合うことなどなかったのに。
だって
What else was there for her to do?
また逃げないか見張っておかないといけないから。一緒に私が言ってあげる。今言ったこと口先だけじゃないんでしょ。
What he truly should have faced. They would soon be going to where truly evil and truly demonic lay, the real perpetrators of all their woes. Their mass deceased as though they were being swallowed into the hole pierced through their chests. The gate that summoned the Holy Lands became a cavity that began to absorb them into the Devil's Castle. In that moment...
ごめんね、藤井君。綾瀬さん。
She ended up forcing them into painful roles.
でも信じてるから。
She had faith. The two would one day set them free.
私も戦う。
ええ、いつか、いつの日か。
They dreamed of a time where Reinhard Heydrich and Karl Kraft, the two pillars of all things demonic and evil, could be defeated.
また会おうね。
The two of them vanished as they nestled up to each other. And at that moment, the chains binding Kasumi popped off. She looked down as she fell, and right below her was...
レン。
He was waiting for her there.
私本当にどうしていいかわからなくて。
I didn't know what I should say to him either.
頑張ろうって思って頑張ったけど、私バカでやっぱり全然頭悪くて。
Rather than everything quelling down like I'd hoped, things had come to this horrible close.
ごめんね。
I got too lost in myself and couldn't see anything happening around me. By the time I finally came to, Rayo was gone. And Marie had vanished.
私なんでこんなにあんたの役に立たないんだろう。
I felt so pathetic. I wanted to crawl into a hole and die. And yet at the very same moment I was...
レンが生きててよかった。
That alone overrode all my emotion with happiness. The warmth embracing my chest felt so real that I was shamelessly full of relief. I hated that side of me. I couldn't forgive that side of me. But I didn't want to be apart from Ren. That was the unbelievably, inexcusably, and unbearably selfish and dirty side of me. Why was I such a hopelessly pathetic excuse for a person? I heard Ren's voice.
俺、お前に
I could feel him cling to and squeeze my shoulders.
聞いてほしいことがあるんだ。
It all proved we were alive. My heart almost burst from the love I felt for him. I didn't want to die, and I didn't want him to die. And we were alive at the cost of a sacrifice far too great.
お前の親父さんのこと
He could have said anything at that moment and I wouldn't have given a damn.
殺したの俺なんだ。
知ってたよ。
I already knew, so please don't suffer anymore.
全部わかってるから。
Don't ask me for how long.
私レンが好きだよ。
It didn't matter what my father had been, what he'd been thinking, or where Ren had come from.
私にとってレンはレンなんだもん。ずっと一緒にいたいんだもん。
So let's go home, okay? Let's go back to our home.
そっか。俺バカみたいだな。
そんなことない。
I was the fool. I was the one beyond help.
氷室先輩は
Because...
先に帰っちゃったよ。当てられちゃうって。
I was the kind to tell flimsy lies that'd be exposed immediately.
マリーはあの子説明すると長くなるけど
I'll listen to anything you want to say later, so...
お前はどこも怪我してないよな。
大丈夫だよ。
So please, Ren.
俺もお前のことがすげえ好きだ。お前を救えて本当に
そんな
Don't try to act tough by talking like those are your last words.
言わないでよ。
Don't pass out on me.
起きるよね。
You're gonna wake up again, right? You're not gonna leave me, right?
レンレンがいないと頑張った意味がなくなっちゃうよ。
I made a lot of mistakes and had a ton of things I won't ever be able to make up for.
あんたが見ててくれないと私
I didn't even know what I was saying anymore.
一人にしないで。
I too started to black out, my arm still wrapped around Ren's neck. The beating of a heart echoed across the now still chamber of the obsidian round table. It did not belong to a human. It was the quickenings of the devil's castle. Those swirling within it were laughing. What a farce. How splendid. Indeed, it was truly amusing. Then what shall you do? What is your wish? We still draw breath. Will you continue this war, or will you give up on our defeat? Depending on your answer, the main event may still lie on the morrow. What shall you do? What will you do? Make your choice. and bless me with the light of the unforeseen. Booming, splitting laughter. The unit of over 1 million war demons looked down upon the tragic scene with a scornful smirk on its lips. It breathed love, licking up the tears of the tender soul in its jaws. It violated it, as she listened to the beating of the heart of the absolute evil they should have truly faced. Kay, who had seen the whole thing from start to finish, finally became aware of what it was she had to do. The curtains closed with a dry sound. Having successfully blocked the setting sun, Kasumi turned back to the dim hospital room.
ちょっと待っててね。電気つけるから。
And with a click, the room was flooded with light.
ね
Kasumi turned back to the center of the room. Ren was there. He was lying in a bed, sleeping with a peaceful look on his face. Kasumi shrugged in exasperation.
え。もう、いつまで眠りこけるつもりなんだろうね。あんたは。
She lightly poked Ren's cheek.
あんたね、このまま行ったら留年だよ。留年。かっこ悪いぞ。そうなったら私が先輩で、あんたが後輩になるんだ。そうだね。そうなったらあんた、私のこときちんと綾瀬先輩って呼ぶのよ。そうしたらさ、毎日いびって先輩風吹かしてやんだから、覚悟なさい。今私が心配してる分まできっちり代価を払わせてやるんだから。
Kasumi laughed as she pinched Ren's warm cheeks.
変な顔。
But
こいつはどうだ？
what if? He never wakes up. Noticing that her line of sight had grown blurry, Kasumi frantically wiped her eyes. She mustn't. If she cried, her heart would break, and if that happened, she would never smile again. The thought alone filled her with fear. She made up her mind to greet Ren with a smile when he woke up. So she'd never cry. She didn't want to cry.
ごめん、レイ。もう時間だから。今日は帰るね。明日また来るから。
Kasumi stood up as though she was running away. She got her things, momentarily came to a halt just before reaching the door.
ごめんね。
And left the room without looking back. Kasumi walked down the bright hallway illuminated by white fluorescent lamps. She didn't even realize it was the time for the sun to set already. She'd been spacing out for long periods of time lately. A single day felt like it was hardly a few hours long.
レイ。
She muttered his name to her own face reflected in the hallway. But at that moment, her very blood froze as she saw a familiar face reflected in the window.
今のは。
She wondered if she'd just mistaken that face for another, but it was as though her feet carried her to the phantasm's direction on their own. For if that really was her... She recalled their conversation at the amusement park. I will kill Fuji. If she really had just seen Kei Sakurai, then Ren's life was in danger. Kasumi chased after the silhouette as though it was beckoning her, as though she was being guided on by an invisible force.
Sakurai-san!
Kasumi pursued her all the way to the roof. The door was open. Past its frame was...
やっぱり
Her eyes hadn't deceived her. Kei was there all by herself, almost as though she'd been waiting for her.
何しに来たの？
It wasn't just running that made her pant. It was a premonition, and the bad memories it stirred.
ねえ。
もちろん
Her voice was like ice.
彼を殺しに来たのよ。 言ったでしょ、そうするって。
Kasumi momentarily forgot to breathe. Though she'd expected as much, hearing it firsthand made her realize the hopelessness of the situation.
待ってよ。
Ren was in a coma and couldn't move. Shiro was dead and Ellie was gone. In other words, there was no one left who could stop Kei now.
ダメ。そんなの絶対ダメよ。だいたいよりによってこんな時に。
卑怯だって？だから何？敵の嫌がることをするのが戦いでしょ。文句を言われる覚えはない。
でも
気に入らないならあなたが止めてみなさいよ。
Stop Kei by herself? Indeed, Kasumi knew that was her only choice at this point.
無駄な努力をしてみてよ。笑ってあげるから。
Though she said so, Kei's face remained an expressionless mask. Not a single trace of emotion could be read off it. Only her tone and words were heartlessly cold.
あなたを釣ったのはこの先本当の一人ぼっちじゃかわいそうだと思ったから。藤井君より先に行かせてあげる。抵抗してもいいよ。
She intended to kill Kasumi.
一人で生きていけっていきなり放り出されても困るよね。私は彼より優しいからそんなひどいことはしない。一緒に行かせてあげる。あなたの首を持って彼の病室に行くわ。殺す前に枕元で言ってやるの。ねえ藤井君、どんな気分？バカもほどほどにしろって言ったでしょって。それから聞かせてあげるのよ。綾瀬さんがどんな風に殺されたのか。藤井君にあなたの死に様を教えないといけないから、できるだけ頑張ってドラマチックに私が泣いちゃうくらいあがいてよ。ねえ、剣道強いんだもんね。
Kasumi felt a chill and pressure squeeze her heart so strong it could have very well burst. Now that she thought about it, she never faced another's intent to kill head-on. Rizulka had just toyed with her while Trifa treated her like a guest of honor. This was the first time anyone had seriously told her they would end her life. Fear sunk its sharp claws into Kasumi's heart.
じゃあ行くよ。
She only tapped Kasumi on the chest with an ever so light tap of a finger. However, unbelievably, that alone was enough to send Kasumi flying. Without any time to correct her posture to land safely, she tumbled across the roof. She couldn't breathe. A single tap of a finger had delivered an impact equivalent to being smashed with a giant hammer. It defied common logic no matter what angle anyone spun it from.
これが彼の戦ってきた世界。
This was the pain he'd endured.
これが彼の走った非日常。
This was the fear Ren had experienced.
痛いでしょ。怖いでしょ。よかったね綾瀬さん。最後に藤井君と共有できたよ。満足でしょ。殺してあげるから泣いて感謝しながら喜んでよ。
The impact had robbed her of her voice, but she had to retort, squeeze it out no matter what. I'm...
私は
She raised her head, glaring straight ahead, and said it.
こんなの全然怖くなんかない。
She was lying. She was scared. It hurt so much she wanted to run away.
泣いたりなんかしないもん。絶対そんなことしてやらない。
She'd be damned if she gave her opponent even a single thing to rejoice. If she didn't protect Ren right here and now.
させないから。レンを殺すなんて私がいる限りさせないから。
じゃあ私と戦うのね。いいわ。だったら見せてあげる。
She unsheathed something invisible as if showing it off. It was a sword that defied Kasumi's understanding, yet one that she as a kendo student was deeply familiar with. Kei drew her scarlet sword.
本気でやってあげるわよ。剣道しましょう。
The sword flash that passed right by her face soundlessly destroyed the laundry poles behind Kasumi. The cut-off pole that fell at Kasumi's feet was about the size of a bamboo sword.
それを取った瞬間に戦闘開始とみなす。
The moment she took it, her head would be flying through the air.
あなたが何度もしてきたようにね。ギロ
Kei's killing intent made Kasumi realize this was karma.
私
She had indeed killed many innocent people. She knew it was a sin that no excuses could vindicate her of. So she tried with her stupid brain to figure out how to atone, but...
そうかまだ残ってたんだね。
If hell truly did exist, then she wanted to be righteous just like this. She had killed over a dozen people, so her life too had to be put to mortal risk that amounted the same amount of times.
だったら逃げない。立ち向かってくぐり抜けるよ。生きたいから。
Because she wanted to live with Ren. Because she loved him more than anything.
私に勝てるつもりなの？
なめないでよね。
She knew there was indeed a wide gap between their strengths, but it seemed like Kei's style was not that of a traditional mastery, but self-taught.
私結構強いんだから。さ
She picked up the laundry pole, but
ええ、そうね。
Kei gave a light smile, as if she could see right through Kasumi.
あなたの方が私よりずっと強いよ。
Kei thrust her own sword through her chest, all the way to the hilt. It hurt, but...
なんて暖かい炎。
Completely bewildered by what had transpired, Kasumi caught Kei as she fell and began crying, her mind still unable to keep up with what had happened. Kei slowly opened her eyes as the tears fell on her cheeks.
よかったね。あなたの勝ちよ。
そんな
Kasumi had no idea what Kei was talking about.
なんでどうして私のことをムカついてるんでしょ。レンのことが嫌いなんでしょ。
どうしてって。
Because she hated those two. Because they were so radiant it hurt. So she'd wanted to close her eyes.
ねえ起きてよ。続きしようよ。逃げないでよ。卑怯だよ。なんでみんな私を無視して勝手に死んじゃおうとするのよ。シロもレアさんもレンもあんたもみんな最悪だよ。ぶん殴ってやりたいよ。どうして私だけいつも蚊帳の外で空回りなのよ。
Kei thought it was probably because she was the strongest one of them all. Because everyone loved and wanted to protect her.
一緒にカラオケ行ったじゃない。
Kasumi had been tone deaf in Kei's ears, though.
レンの陰口で盛り上がったじゃない。
That had mostly been a one-sided conversation on Kasumi's part, though.
ちょっと喧嘩したぐらいでいきなり絶好とかすんなよ。
Little? She considered that little?
友達じゃないの。
Friends? Who? Kei? With Kasumi?
友達。
違うとか言ったらぶん殴るよ。
Kei certainly didn't want one of those in this state.
たとえ あんたがどう思ってても全部演技だって言い張っても私は知ってるもん。知ってるんだから。
何が？
桜井さん楽しそうだった。
She had. When?
クラブでみんなと一緒にいた時、桜井さん楽しそうだった。
That wasn't true, was it?
カッコつけるな。気取ってばっかいるなバカ。わかるんだよ。見え見えなんだよ。盾に一般人代表ポジションじゃないんだから。あんたらみたいなひねくれたバカのことはよくわかってるの。見慣れてるの。ごま私ケイのことも好きだよ。
Aya say.
行かないでよ。また喧嘩しようよ。
Yes, maybe Kay had indeed been having fun just now. Not like her crappy acting made for a genuinely tense scene. Though it looked like Kasumi bought it anyway. So much so, Kay had trouble suppressing a smile through the whole affair.
ねえ、どうして急にこんなこと。
The answer to that, in fact, was very simple. It was embarrassing, so she'd only say it once.
あなたみたいになりたかったから。
Because she wanted to be strong like Kasumi.
意味が全然わからない。
頭悪いのね。
うるさいよ。
Kay was no match at all for the strength and courage Kasumi had faced her with. She had been scared. She couldn't fight. She'd just run away from the one she was truly supposed to face, or worse, submitted herself to him. This was her way of showing defiance. The only act of rebellion that the weak, stupid, and pathetic woman like herself had managed to muster in her life. Was Lord Hadrick watching her? Was Karl Kraft laughing at her? Her death would ensure that the swastika of Shambhala would go to waste. Now those monsters could never descend upon the city.
ざまあみろ。
With the death of Sonnenkind, Irae Himuro, the divine vessel, had fallen into darkness. And for the finishing blow, Kay had invoked the defective sun. Kasumi might have been just an inferior imitation in their eyes, but to Kay, she was the brightest sun there was. She was so warm and gentle, those monsters could never conform to her light. Now Kay had shown the Obsidian Round Table, the warmongering monsters who had set their lives astray, who was the boss. She had fired an arrow of retaliation, hit the target despite being nothing but a bug in comparison, as far as sheer power was concerned. No matter what awaited her after this, she refused to run away.
ざまあみろって。
こっちの話よ。
It was better that Kasumi didn't know. Best that she remain blissfully ignorant and wrap him up in her light. That foolish man who had killed her by sparing her, opening her eyes. It was at this moment Kay finally realized something ridiculous.
ねえ、もう一つだけ喧嘩できそうなことがあるよ。
Even Kay couldn't help but be surprised by it.
私、藤井君のこと好きになっちゃったみたい。
So get mad. Let's fight.
そう。
Yet all Kasumi did was smile kindly.
見る目あるね。ケイ。
A smile like she just gained to the greatest friend there was.
叶わない。
She had completely lost. The time had come for her to leave the stage. But right before she did, she fulfilled one last promise she'd made.
Sorry, Kasumi. my friend.
Sorry for ending it with a lesson even a child would understand. Though that said, she found it perfectly fitting for Kasumi.
さよなら。
Goodbye, Kasumi.
最初です最後の。
She was so glad.
会えてよかった。
And then the sun. The Devil's Castle shook. The beast on the throne narrowed his eyes, ascertaining the details of the situation. An august laugh escaped his lips. He was in a good mood from having obtained such a juicy soul. Splendidly, in heart, soul befitting of a champion indeed, you have earned your place alongside your loved ones within me. Irresistible affection filled the impregnable gold as he felt all the souls that fell in Shambhala be absorbed into the castle as the 8th swastika opened. Indeed, they had lost this round. It was an impossible feat for him to exit through this narrow birth canal, and according to the principles of equivalent exchange, he had to return the soul that girl had sought. The soul of the man who was pierced by the Holy Lance. He would return the one who ended up swallowed into their world. After all, he had intended to do so from the beginning. The gold continued to laugh. Nothing had changed. He was still here. It mattered not to him if it was 60 years or 100 years. All he had to do was repeat the same thing. The Obsidian Round Table had not been annihilated. All of them merely shifted their planes of existence and became spectral warriors of the Devil's Castle. Lisa, Beatrice, Bean, Kane, Ruzulka, Trifa, Wilhelm, as well as Rhea, Himuro, and Kei Sakurai. All of them had melted into Reinhardt's world, into Veltal. Veltal being universe if you don't know German. This would not happen again. He would not be so soft next time. His warriors would be stronger and greater. He would show the world a new Obsidian Round Table, this time made up of solely immortal Einherjar. It seemed there were several amongst Reinhardt's ranks who still wished to oppose him, but the beast merely closed its eyes, considering it mere amusement.
Now,
Nothing had ended or changed. And as proof, both he and she were here.
あなたに恋をした。
Therefore he would craft her a new necklace.
あなたにひざまずかせていただきたい、花よ。
He had not forgotten his vow.
いずれ必ず、私が必ず、あなたを解き放ってみせるどっちか。あなたは新世界を包む女神の器だと認めるゆえに迷いはない。
Yes, he would not spare a moment for hesitation. He had already laid the groundwork for the next time. Neither of them knew a thing. In the end, this was naught but a temporary obstacle. Once the gate to the Devil's Castle opened, it did not matter who played the sun. Just like Isaac, your children and grandchildren shall inherit the rule of Sonnenkind. So bless you. May you delude yourselves in false victory and drown in love and relief. Congratulations. Your affection is most exquisite. I wish the two of you well from the bottom of my heart. O girl of unparalleled strength, if you wish to know what hell is like to this extent, I shall show it to you before long. You cannot escape the castle after your death. That is what it means to be Sonnenkind. You saved him with the souls of Shambhala. You understand, do you not? That is but another sin most grave. As such, hell awaits you with open arms. Yes, as long as we are here, nothing shall change. I hope one lifetime is enough to figure out our riddle. Can you save your children and grandchildren with that love, I wonder? Show us. Our curiosity knows no bounds. The Devil's Castle rang and shook with mirth. The two devils laughed as their chaotic whirlpool of souls swirled around them. The two pillars of absolute evil remained perfectly intact. Nothing had changed. The Maiden of the Twilight slept on, immersed in an ephemeral memory of sunlight. And that, folks, was Kasumi's ending. So, it's not supposed to be as satisfying as the other ones because, like they said, they didn't really fix anything. Karl Kraft and Reinhardt are still out there. And Marie is still there, waiting for her next Zarathustra, one that will actually be able to fully awaken her, and so on. So anyway, we are done with Acta est Fabula. There's a comment on one of the previous videos from John Hooper. If you didn't see his name in the credits there, he was the translation director and one of the translation people. Translators, I guess. And he actually mentioned the differences between the two versions is actually a lot less than stated. The changes that were posted were actually just sex scenes, not actually differences like I thought they were. So we're going to hop back into Amantes and Mentes and go from there for the next couple routes. Now the thing is, I am going to be taking a break from this for a little while because I need to straighten out my schedule and everything. But when we pick up, I'll probably do a speedy run through the first 6... Is it 6? I want to say it's 6 chapters. I'll make some choices in favor of K. I'll try to show the outcomes in normal time, but for the most part we will be speeding through. And then once we reach chapter 6 and however that plays out, that will be normal. So I will do Kasumi's route basically on autopilot in Amantes and Mentes to unlock anything related to that. I'll probably try to do the Omnia Amor or something like that. Love Conquers All is what it's supposed to translate to. I don't know what that actually is offhand in Latin. That little side story. And once that's all said and done, we can then move forward with K's route and then conclude things with Irae's route. But anyway, that's it for now. I'm the Hero of Light, thanks for watching, and goodbye.